Toy Story 4. The one that we didn't ask for and basically divided the fan base. So now we are looking at Toy Story 4. And when I say divided the fan base, it didn't turn into like a toxic thing like we see with Star Wars and Marvel. This one, in the sense, it was just more of like people either liked it or didn't like it. But I think we can all agree that this movie was unnecessary because we had a great start to the original Toy Story. Toy Story 2 was a great follow up, and Toy Story 3 was the best conclusion we could have gotten out of this particular set of movies. So to make Toy Story 4, it basically takes away that moment. I mean, even Quentin Tarantino has said he refuses to watch Toy Story 4 because he's afraid it might ruin what is already a great finale. And for me, I was one of those people that was like, I don't want to see this. It looks unnecessary. It looks dumb. And then when I watched it, I was amazed by it. Actually, I liked this movie more than the original at first. Now it definitely is my least favorite because I just happen to watch all four of these movies back to back to back to back. But I don't know. I just didn't feel like we needed it, just like everybody else. I mean, the movie literally starts with a flashback of what happened to Bo Peep, but then following that, we get to see Andy as a kid again, playing again, but basically telling us that we miss Andy. But we're gonna continue the series anyways, and basically 4, 5, and 6 is supposed to be the story of Bonnie, and I don't know, something about Bonnie just is not clicking. I personally feel like Riley from Inside Out is a way much better Bonnie because I feel like she's just like a natural take on what we're trying to do with the character. I don't know, I just feel like Bonnie is just like whatever, and you practically are essentially starting all over. And really where the heart of this movie is Woody. He really is the one carrying this movie because his story is that, like, for years he's been Andy's favorite toy. He was like the sheriff, he was the captain. Now he's just an afterthought. He doesn't even get played with anymore. And then when it's Bonnie's first day of school, um Bonnie is sad that she doesn't have any friends, so Woody sneaks into the backpack and basically gives her a bunch of materials to work with, and thus is the formation and creation of Forky, a character who believes he's just trash. And for a good chunk of the first half of this movie is just Woody trying to help Forky and not being thrown in the trash, but like they even have the song "I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away." I was fine with that part of the story, but I was like, it cannot be the whole movie. There was even a part where finally Forky and Woody just disappear for most of it. And in the process, Woody finds Bo Peep's old lamp. Later, you find out that Gabby Gabby is like the runner of this old shop, and with like clocks and like a bunch of old people stuff. Um, and basically she finds out that Woody has like a box where um she can basically have better recordings of herself, and basically she just asks for a trade in exchange, because Gabby Gabby wants to be a toy for the owner's granddaughter. Her name is Harmony, I believe it was. I don't know, the fact that Gabby Gabby, they made her super evil. They even have her like own like puppet minions. Like, I don't know, I just wasn't high on her being the bad guy, but it made sense for why she was doing it. It was just the way she was going about it. And when she took Forky, that was a whole different thing. But eventually, we do get to be in this carnival. Most of the movie just takes place in one day in a carnival where Woody is lost. Buzz definitely was a huge downgrade. Buzz basically hears his emotions. He was basically pressing the buttons. He's just listening to his buttons. They made him kind of stupid in this movie, and I wasn't high on that. There's a funny scene where he meets Ducky and Bunny, who are voiced by Key and Peele, where they're kicking him around, and then he basically traps him in the with his helmet. They help him out, and then in exchange, they compromise to try to win a kid in their eyes. So the original voices for Ducky and Bunny were supposed to be Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci, and I feel like that would have been so much better. I like Key and Peele, but they could be kind of annoying. Jordan Peele was moving on to being a producer. I believe this is technically his last movie. And Keegan Michael Key, they just put him in everything Disney related, and it ends up being like one of the worst parts of those movies. Pinocchio, Lion King. So hell, even Predator, that's not even Disney. Yeah, but yeah, Keegan Michael Key, they've been putting him a lot of stuff in here. Another person that they put a lot but was awesome was Keanu Reeves when he was Duke Kaboom. That character was awesome. Basically a toy motorcyclist who got abandoned by his kid because the commercial over exaggerated his arc, and it was awesome. Finally, what do I think about Bo Peep? She was great. I like that she's now more independent. She wasn't just a damsel in distress, but she just is happy to be a lost toy. And Woody's just like, no, you can't be a lost toy. You gotta come with us. And like Woody basically believes that like the only thing that matters is making Bonnie happy, and in the process, he puts other people in danger. He is basically hurting people, and he's not realizing it, but eventually um he ends up getting Forky. They go back to the RV. For the most part, the family was just like they just dumbed them down. Where the dad is constantly getting arrested or stopped by police. The van gets broken, like the RV, I should say. And all the side characters take a step back. Like we don't see Jessie that much, and I know she's gonna play a bigger role in Toy Story 5, but here she really doesn't do much of anything outside of popping the wheels. The finale is really what brings it home, and that is what made the movie really special for everybody. Which was when they were all gonna go with Bonnie, but then when a lost girl is crying, trying to find her parents, Gabby helps her out now with her new box, and basically she gets taken home um, with with this brand new family, and basically now the lost toys are in a mission. Now they know what they're doing, and Woody kind of feels like he found a new path, and he gets to spend it with Bo Peep. There actually was an original different ending where Woody no longer has his box, and he basically is a broken toy. Bonnie takes Woody and still plays with him, even though he's broken. She still finds a way, and then Woody ends up back with Bonnie. That was the original ending, from my understanding. But then they went a different route, and it was very risky because Woody leaves the gang. Yeah. So the story ends with Woody basically saying goodbye to all his friends one last time, and he spends this time with Bo Peep. And I love the finale where they're like, "Oh, Woody's officially a lost toy. He's not lost, not anymore." And then they say to infinity and beyond. And basically, Woody has his own group of friends now, and Buzz and Jesse are basically taking over with Bonnie. And I don't know. It was a nice finale. What I like about all the Toy Story movies is that they all have a proper finale. I was really high on this. At the time, it was my favorite animated movie of that year until I saw How to Train Your Dragon 3. But this one was nice. The only true problem this movie has is, was it necessary? If I'm making sense. Because this movie was good, but yeah, it was definitely very. If I never saw it, I would have been satisfied. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the big problem. It's still a really good story to tell. Some characters got downgraded, some new characters were good, some were bad. Um, and for the most part, I would have to say that this movie, it's hard because I want to give it an A minus because that was when my initial rating when I was reviewing this in the radio world. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a B plus, which is ironically the same rating I gave The Incredibles 2. I still think The Incredibles 2 is way much better than this, but this one was. I think the biggest problem with this movie is the reason for it happening because the Toy Story original trilogy was great, and we can't even call it a trilogy anymore. But this movie was still a solid entry into the Toy Story franchise. The problem really was existing, and maybe the rating could change if Toy Story 5 is phenomenal. Who knows? But that's gonna be my review of Toy Story 4. On to Onward, and I have a very interesting story that you're gonna want to hear in that review. So stay tuned for Onward. We'll see you next week with that one.